Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Lee Grant and welcome back to another Leetcoding video. So yesterday we attempted to do this problem which is on the screen, number 26, remove duplicates from sorted array. But unfortunately I was unable to actually solve it. I spent about an hour trying to figure this out and I failed on all three steps. So first step was trying to actually read the problem and then from the problem figure out an algorithm to be able to solve the problem. I was not able to figure out an efficient algorithm. So that was failure number one. Failure number two was I came up with an algorithm that was not efficient, but at least it was an algorithm, okay? From that, I tried to take what was in my head and put it onto code, translate the idea that I have in my head and express it in code. Unfortunately, I was also unable to do that. Then third failure was I said, okay, well, I'm going to look at the solution and try to understand the solution. So I went to the solutions, also couldn't get it. I was looking at it and I was just like, well, I don't really see how this is working. So today's video, we're going to revisit this problem and I'm going to go straight to the solutions. I'm going to look at the solution, try to see, by the way, you can see my submissions. Why is that not going? Anyways, whatever. So I was going to try to show you my submissions that I did yesterday, but doesn't want to show. Okay, so we are going to go and try to look at the answers and then try to understand how is it actually working, and then maybe we can go backwards. Okay, so let me minimize myself here, and let's just go to this. We're going to go to Python, and we're just going to copy and paste this. Copy. Paste. Okay, so we're definitely not going to press submit, and the reason is because I don't want this. Why does it not say attempted? Am I on the right? I don't know. Anyways, I definitely attempted it yesterday, but it's not showing. That's not important. The important part is trying to understand this. I'm not going to press submit because I don't want to actually put this as solved, and then I have no way of, like, I'll look at the problem and be like, oh, I already solved it, and then not try to solve it again. So I'm not going to press submit, and now what I am going to do is we are going to try to map out how this actually works. So I have a nums list. Okay, so let me read the problem and we can get into the solution. So given an integer array nums sorted in non-decreasing order, so in increasing order, remove the duplicates in place such that each unique element appears only once. The relative order of the elements should be kept the same. Then return the number of unique elements in nums. Okay, so we have an array here, nums, and this has integers in it. So 1, 1, 2. Okay? And my goal is to take this and get rid of this duplicate 1. And I want to preserve the order of this list though. So you notice here 1 and then 2. And then we don't care about this third position. It's not even looked at. Okay? So here I want to get rid of this second 0. Okay? And then I want to get rid of this second 1 and this third 1. Then I want to get rid of this second 2. Then I want to get rid of this second 3. But I still want 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to be in order, okay? And then I don't care about all of these other values. So that's the question. Now let's try to figure out how this actually works. Let's kind of step through it line by line. Okay, so nums is going to equal, it's an array, and it's going to be 0, I'm just making something up, 1, 1, 1, 2, 5. Okay, here we go. So now, how does this start? So we have j equals 1, okay? So right now j equals 1, which means j is at this position here, okay? Now, for I in range 1 to length of numbers. So we are going to be iterating. I is going to go from here all the way over to here, okay? And each iteration, it increases by 1. All right. So now, I is here and j is here. Okay. So both of them are pointing to the same place. Okay. So now, each iteration, I have one if statement. This if statement will either hit or it won't hit. Okay. And if it doesn't hit, we just iterate to the next position. So I just increases and j stays the same. Okay, so I and j are here. Okay. And the reason that we start at 1 is because this 0 is, or this first element can't be a duplicate because there's only one element that's been there so far. It's itself. So it can't, even if this was like 0, 0, like this, well, if we start right here at the first position, or position number 1, index number 1, well, this is the element that we need to remove because this one we're not removing this one. This is the first of its kind. So it's impossible that this one right here is a duplicate. This is the first possible time that there is a duplicate. Okay, so now, what is this if statement? So I is just going to iterate 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, or it's just going to increase by 1 every for loop, every time it hits this for loop. J is only going to increase when this hits. What is this? And then what does this do? Okay, so I am going to, when nums of I, and I is right now here, when nums of I does not equal nums of I minus 1. So when I is here and the value which immediately precedes it, which is right there, okay, is not the same. So when they are not the same, that means that we do not have a duplicate, okay? So in this case, we do have a duplicate because it's 0 and 0. So what do? This doesn't hit and it just comes back up here and we go to the next I. So now okay, j is there, I is there. Let me just like this. Make things a little bit more clear. Okay, j is here, I is here. Okay. Now, what's going to happen? So I came up here, and now I look and say, is this one different than this one? Which, yes, it is. Okay. So now, what's going to happen? Nums of j equals nums of I. So we swap those two. Okay. 1 and 0. Okay. Now, j plus equals 1. So now, j is right there. Okay. So now they're at the same location. All right, so then I come back up here and I say I is increased by 1. Okay, there we go. Now, if they are not equal, okay, they're not equal. And this kind of tripped me up yesterday was I said, wait, but I just moved that 0 there, and now I'm checking it again. So this is kind of what I'm trying to figure out. This is one of those things that was tripping me up yesterday, and I'm still not quite sure about it, but we're going to figure this out. Okay? So now I just swap j and i's location. Okay, so now this becomes 1, and this becomes 0. Okay? And then j increases. I mean, no. Look, I already have a 1 and a 1 right there. That's wrong. I'm going to submit it. I'm going to see if this is even right. What? How? J cannot go backwards, right? No. And so we've already passed this. This location. And there's 2 1s right there. Let's continue with this and see if we can find our error. Okay, so do we want to start over? Let's start over. Okay. Let's start over. So we're right here. I is right here and j is right there and I is right there. Okay. So we're starting here. Bam. Then we come here. I sit and let me change this. So this is 0 like this, and this one is gone. So now we have a valid input. We have 0 0 1 1 1 2 5. This is valid. Okay. I is here, j is here. Okay. So then we say num, we check. I is right here, does not equal its previous one. That is not true, right? Like, it is equal to its previous one. Okay, so what do? We do not run this. We come up here, and I is increased by 1. Okay. Now, nums of I does not equal I minus 1. They are not equal. 1 is 0, 1 is 1. They are not equal, so we run this line of code. Nums of j, which is here, equals what? This one. And I think I see my mistake. So we go like that. And we do not put a 0 here, because it doesn't say nums of I is equal to, like, we would have had to do like something like this, like temp equals nums of j, so storing the old value of nums of j, overriding it, and then storing nums of I equals temp. This is how we would have done a swap, but that's not what we're doing. He's not doing a swap. Simply replacing one of them. I think that was my mistake. Okay. So now we're here, and then we increase j by 1. Okay. Good. Now, what happens is we'll come back up here, and now I is increased by 1. Okay, I is here. Now, I look to see if this one and this one are different. They are not different. They are the same. This is 1, that is 1. So I do not run this line of code. I come back up here and I increase I. Okay. Now, I say, is this one and this one? They're equal. So this is not true. We do not run this line of code. We come back up here and increase I. Okay. I look here. It is correct that they are not equal. Therefore, I run this line of code. I swap the location at j, this one. What do I put in there? I put the 2, because that's the location at here. Okay? And then I increase j by 1. Okay. Then I come back up here and increase I by 1. Now I see if these are the same, which they are not the same. So we come in here and I swap the value at j. Okay. 5. J is increased. And j is increased because, so j is keeping track of each of those like unique values. Okay. Yeah. And then I come back up here and this terminates. It's to the end. It's at length of nums. So then we return j, which is the index, and we want to return the number of elements. So this is 1 element, 1 unique element, 2, 3, 4 unique elements. Okay? 4 unique elements. And positionally, where is j? 0th, 1th, 2th, 3th, 4th. So 4. So it's at index 4, which corresponds to here 4 indexes, even though it's kind of slightly offset, because 1 is how many elements, 1 is the index, and index is 0. It starts at 0. The number of things starts at 1. Okay? So that's how this works. Okay. And at this point, all of these are sorted, and we don't care about these. So I is kind of going forward, and it's checking to see if the one behind it was change, if there's any change. If there was a change, then it means, so if there was a change, this line doesn't hit. Sorry, if there was a change, this line does hit. Okay? And the change means that we just got to a new unique value. Okay? And so then we swap we put the new unique value, which is currently at I I is always pointing, or in this, once this hits, I is pointing to the first instance of the next unique value, and j is keeping track of where the unique values end, where I just placed the last unique value, right? So then I just put it at the next location and then increase j to be at the next location. Okay, so that's how this algorithm works. We have successfully completed today's mission, which was to understand this code right here. And so yesterday, as I said, we were unable to figure this out, and I was trying to look at this, and it was I saw the solution and I was very confused by it. I couldn't figure it out. So today's mission was to try to figure out what this is, how it's working, and I am pretty happy with the results from today. So I'm going to consider today a success. Thank you to everyone who watched this video. I hope maybe you learned along with me, or maybe it was extremely simple and you're like, why am I dedicating so much time to this? But anyways, I hope I hope you either enjoyed it or you learned something. Either way, thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. If you did like it, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So my name is Timothy Lee Grant, and